Hello players, it is early December. It just snowed last night. Golf course is going to be closed for at least a few days. And I guess it's safe to say that winter is pretty much here for the next few months. Seeing as how it's the middle of December, I would suggest we've got about 5 months before golf season really kind of kicks into high gear, which if you think about it, that's 150 days. Now, the purpose of this video is what can we do in 150 days to get better at golf, especially if the golf course is closed. I want you to think about it like this. This is a brick. It's actually only half a brick, but imagine, for the purposes of this video, that it's a full-size brick. In and of itself, this brick is kind of inconsequential. It's not that heavy. Didn't take much work to get it in here. And it's kind of meaningless. But if I was to add to it, if I was to add one brick every day for 150 days, I would have a broken table for sure, but I would also probably have something of substance to show for it. And that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about this brick as something small that you can do regularly on a daily basis to improve some aspect of your golf game for 2024. That's what we're going to do today. So when I'm talking about doing things every day or doing things regularly, really I'm talking about routines or habits. Now, one of my winter habits is I like to read a little bit. I don't have a chance to in the summertime. I don't make time for it in the summer. But in the winter, I try to do 10 minutes a day. And the book that I just finished is pretty good. It's called Atomic Habits. It's a good starting point if you're looking to add a few things to your daily or weekly routine that's going to help you with any part of life, whether it's golf, in my case, guitar, fitness, you name it, diet. I would highly recommend it. I have a link to it in the email if you'd like to pick it up. It's a pretty easy read, and it gives you some great ideas for how to incorporate habits. I know if you're like me, you probably started a whole bunch of different things in your life and never really saw them through, whether it's a diet, a workout plan, a stretching routine, boring golf drills, boring guitar drills. You know, you might find yourself doing them once or twice and then giving up on them and never seeing the culmination of all that work turn into much. So I think it's a good starting point. So, you know, I've got a guitar in my hand. That's my one of my off-season things besides golf. You do terrible, boring things like this stupid drill.
Workout number 1 at 70.
This is going to sound awful.
Wait for your 4 count.
But I do this every day. I try to go faster every day. That's enough of that. Sorry about that guitar video, but that's what you do. I want to be a better guitar player, so I do stuff that isn't that fun. I set aside a few minutes a day to go through these exercises, and when I go to actually play stuff that I want to play, I find that I do better. And you'll find, hopefully, that if you pick up some of these things in this video and find ways to make them a part of your daily life, then you're going to get better too. You could try to do something every day for your body, for your flexibility, for your strength. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full-blown hour-long workout. It could be 5 minutes on a foam roller or 5 minutes laying on the floor doing some basic stretches. Of course, if you can go to the gym for an hour and get a little stronger, that wouldn't hurt either, although you might need a little more weight than this. But you get the idea. Just because you can't go for a full session doesn't mean you don't have to do anything at all. I think we could all do something a little bit with our diet to eat a little bit better. I might start subbing out the chips at lunch. Get rid of those. Instead, maybe do like a protein shake instead. A little more muscle, a little less fat. Let's make the golf ball go further. Let's go. Like I've already mentioned, I like to read a little bit. Not a whole lot every day. I don't have time, or I don't want to read a whole lot, but 10 minutes a day, you can get a lot done. You can read quite a bit. And sometimes you might find some stuff that's so good you might read for longer. I've got lots of books on my list. I've included a list of good books for golf in the email. Have a look. Set up a putting station. Just a mat. Doesn't even have to be a golf-specific one. Bonus points if you add a laser to it, though. You can turn down the lights. This one's a little too bright. You get the idea. I got a laser. Work on rolling straight putts. This isn't so much a daily habit, but something you should do in the off season is like go through the bag. Figure out how far everything goes. What doesn't work for you? What gaps do you struggle with? What distances don't you like? Do you have a hybrid that always gets you in trouble? Do you hit your driver in the water every other shot? You know, do your clubs need some new grips? Do they all match? You know, you have a mismatched hodgepodge. You need to go through this. This isn't like a regular thing, but this is definitely something you should think about in the off season. Give your equipment a look and decide what's going to work best for you next year. Overspeed training is a great way to improve some club head speed in the off season. It's whether you do super speed or like the stack system, which is what I'm doing this year. I've done overspeed in the past with super speed. Get yourself a radar if you want. Keep track of your progress and see if you can add a few miles an hour to your swing. Plus, just swinging full effort 3 or 4 times a week is just good for your golf muscles. It's good for your golf memory. It kind of keeps things feeling fresh. Like the stack here, it's got a program. It's got an app. You follow along. It's got a bunch of different weights that you screw in here, and you sit there in front of the radar and you make swings, keeping track of your progress, and it designs a program for you. I highly recommend it. Find yourself a mirror or something with a reflection on it. This is Mirror Dan. I'm looking at the mirror here. But yeah, anything like a mirror, a TV, a window that has on a dark evening, anything like that will help you be able to see what you're doing with your swing. You can kind of, based on what you're working on, you can work on where your arms and hands are at the top. What do things look like? You can use that mirror to get a little more body awareness on what you want to have happen. Do that now before summer gets here. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but at some point in the off season, make it a point to dial in your distances a little bit better. Doesn't have to be this extreme, but just like in my other video that I made about getting more specific and knowing your yardages, like doing that for an hour or 2 in the off season makes things a lot easier in the summertime. Get more accurate information. Yardage books. GPS, laser, Google Maps, check out your course. The information's out there, you just gotta go get it. Now, I'm not saying you have to do everything in this video, but I'm hoping to give you a few ideas for some stuff you could try. Think about how to add 1 or 2 things into your daily or weekly routine. Start accumulating these bricks. See what we can build going into 2024. I think if you can pick 1 or 2 things and do them daily, I think you're going to see a big difference next season.